What is going to be your thing? That's when you start getting the attention of the brands. You just have to love it that much.
It's sitting pretty, baby.
What is up, y'all? It's your girl Lolo, and welcome back to A Message to My Loves. I'm super excited to be able to continue to make these videos for you guys because I want you to be a part of this series. I want you to submit your questions so I can answer them for you and give you a shout out in the process. So if you want to submit your question next or get a chance to have your question answered on camera, you have to follow me on social media. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, and whenever I post it in my stories to submit your questions, that is your chance to submit something, and hopefully you will see yourself next time in a new Message to My Loves. So this month we have a message from Butterfly on Wheels, and she asks, "Hey love, how do you get to represent these brands? I also have a disability." This is a great question. I get this question a lot because of everything that I do on social media, and plenty of people with disabilities want to know how they can be a part, how they can represent their disability and represent themselves along with these brands. I can only speak to my experience and what has happened for me. If you want to get involved with different brands, the number one way to do it is you have to build a brand yourself. That's the one thing. A lot of people think that just because they're on social media that brands are going to just come to them because they're on social media. No, you have to build a brand yourself. And building a brand means creating content that another brand would want to come to you to have you be a part of and represent who you are and the kind of content you make along with their brand. So whether you make socially conscious content or you make fashion videos or makeup videos or you talk about lifestyle videos, whatever your thing is, you have to build a brand and create content surrounding that particular topic, and then the brands will come to you. That is the number one thing, because these brands aren't just coming to any and everybody just because they're on Instagram. They're coming to influencers and people who have built brands that coincide with what they do or a product that they have, and that way it is a collaboration between the two, and that's how you're able to work with them. How do you build a brand to begin with? You first have to love creating content. That is the number one thing. If you don't love it, if you get too overwhelmed or you're too scared of the camera or whatever the case is, this may not be the world for you. What are you going to talk about in your content? That's the next stage to creating a brand. What is going to be your thing? And your thing doesn't have to be something so unique that nobody else is talking about. There's multiple socially conscious influencers with disabilities. There's multiple makeup influencers with disabilities and fashion influencers and every other kind of influencer. So whatever it is, you just have to love it that much. You have to love it that much that you would create content on a consistent basis. And once you start building an audience, start building a voice and building a presence online, whether it's on Facebook, on Instagram, or any other platform, then that's when the brands will start to come to you. That's when you start getting the attention of the brands. There's another way to do it. Once you build up your audience to a certain amount of followers and subscribers or whatever it is, there are services out there where if you have a minimum amount of followers, you can sign up to a service and they essentially link you up with different brands. And once you're in the service, you will see a whole bunch of brands that are looking for influencers. Therefore, you can reach out to the brand and propose what you think would be great content for that brand. And then that's how you get paid. And that's how you start working with brands. Another way to do it is once your audience is built, you can reach out to the brands that you want to work with. Now, I don't know how effective it is. I have heard other influencers be able to make partnerships and collaborations with other influencers this way. But you can reach out to these people and say, hey, I have a great idea for this kind of content that I can create. I have this great idea that me and you as the other collaborator can get together and talk about this and go from there. So that is another way to do it. The third way is for when you build an audience and a brand comes to you. If you make really great content for that brand, that is when you're able to build a relationship with that brand. Then you can go back to the point of contact that, set you up in the first place and say, hey, the holiday seasons are coming up and I have this great idea. Would you guys be open to collaborating again about this particular product or this particular message or campaign? And I could be able to do that. We can talk numbers and then go from there. So that is how you are able to connect with the brands. But the likelihood of you being able to connect to brands without building your own brand first or an audience yourself is pretty slim. So my recommendation is you have to build your brand and your audience first. That way, the brands that come to you have a point of reference on how you two can collaborate and be able to spread your purpose and your message from there. I really hope that was really helpful for you. I hope it was helpful for anyone else who had the same question. If any of you guys have any more questions or any more thoughts or ideas about this particular topic, please leave a comment below. And if you want to be featured next time, you gotta make sure you're following me on social media. And when you see me post about submitting your questions to A Message to My Loves, submit your question so you have a chance to get featured in the next video. I hope this was helpful. Until next time, love you guys. Bye, my loves.